as it has happened. The lawyer representing the governor has done a response. And then finally, the lawyer who originally made that application should be given the final right of reply. That's an issue I'm asking you to consider procedurally. But on the substantive application, I would urge you to look at what we call the prejudice test. What will be the prejudice that we suffered either by this House or by the lawyers representing His Excellency the Governor if the application is allowed? I say that because we need to consider as to whether is it possible for Senator to provide facilities outside this House? Let's say, for instance, the microphone or the evidence is going to be recorded. If that is possible, maybe you can consider positively that application. Secondly, shall we be able to cross-examine, re-examine, ask questions, notwithstanding that witness will be away? And thirdly, we need to consider as to whether that witness is available as of now, or the application is being made that person to appear later. I say that if you are able to satisfy that set of criteria, maybe it may be important, because the key consideration is getting evidence. And as long as no prejudice will be suffered by the other party, maybe that application is meritorious. I have had my eminent professor mention something concerning a Kenya Gazette as to whether that sitting is gazetted. Yes, it's a fairly well taken point, but allow me with all due respect to say I'm not persuaded. And the reason is this, Madam Speaker. We have seen senators, for instance, contributing outside these premises, notwithstanding they are in places which are not necessarily gazetted. Some are in offices, some are in other places. So I would imagine that application which is being made by the council representing the assembly is contemplating such kind of a situation. If facilities can be rendered by this House to that witness, wherever that witness will be, maybe that application is meritorious.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Olekina Ledama.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Madam Speaker, I would have a problem with that, because this Senate will now be invited to make a determination on whether that evidence which will be provided in camera will be published. And I believe that everything that happens in this House must have a record. So I think in determining whether that witness can be cross-examined in camera, I think what we must make a determination on is that once we receive that information, are we able to keep that information within public? Because the threat which is being alluded to by the Council of Nairobi City Assembly can only be fully substantiated if there is a way that we can be able to protect that information so that it's not available out in public. So, Madam Speaker, I think we may need to rethink, because it's an application that has been made, and we have to make a decision whether the council, without any other witnesses, and only the senators and the clerk, can then call that witness here, put off the cameras, so that this process can actually appear to be open. If we cannot be able to make that decision, then I would advise the Nairobi City County Assembly to withdraw that witness and bring another witness, so that this process can be seen to be open and not a process where people leave and say that they are under threat. So, Madam Speaker, my view is this. It is a matter that we have to consider ourselves in this parliament first on how to treat any in-camera witness testimonies. Because I remember when we had the DPP appearing before committee, the only thing we did was put off the cameras, and we did not make it public. But it remained as a record of this House, so that in future it can be able to be considered. So, Madam Speaker, since it is something new, and although I've heard my sister talk about the use of technology, Even our own standing orders are still very clear that whichever means we use, they must be secure and they must be accountable. So we cannot just venture into new territories by allowing a witness to appear from wherever they are, because you don't know whether that witness will be coached to answer questions in a certain way. We cannot also take the staff of Parliament, because if that threat is imminent, you never know who it might take. Even the staff of Parliament might end up falling victim. So, Madam Speaker, I would beseech the Assembly to withdraw that witness and bring in someone else.
Thank you, Senator Susan Ihika Wakarura.
Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker. I also would begin, first of all, by being very sympathetic to the dilemma that would be facing the witness. And I also say that more so as a woman. There may be issues maybe that she would perhaps feel not very comfortable coming out here to present out in the open. But on the other hand, Madam Speaker,
Senator Manga, we don't have points of interjection. If you have a point of order, yes. And what is not in order? Okay. Point of order, yes.
Madam Speaker, if I may. Madam Speaker, if I may, if I could help the House and the Chair. This is the very person who made the application, Madam Speaker. So that we save the time, if I may, Madam Speaker. No, she's not. Madam Speaker, I have been advised, as I did hear the land professor.
Counsel, can you please explain? Is this the witness?
Madam Speaker, this is not the witness. However, I wanted to save the House time because the witness in question that we made an application has reconsidered the position, and we now invoke the provisions of the Witness Protection Act, and she will be able to testify. I believe this now will put that to rest so that we take the next witness and we save the time. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much. So we don't need to belabor, but let me allow Senator Wakarura, because she was halfway in a statement. Yeah. But now you know.
Yes, now I know. Now I'm well guided. Thank you very much. So, Madam Speaker, what I was actually saying was that given the very sensitive nature, one, I would have wanted us to know, because at Senate level, no new evidence really is introduced. So I would have wanted to know if that evidence had been introduced at the county assembly level, and that would then have told me that the opposing counsel then would be aware if that had been done. But also because of the interest of justice, and given the very serious charges that are facing the governor, and given the very, very strict timelines that we are under, at this point in time, I would think it may appear to be a bit more impractical. But now that things have taken a different turn, maybe you will rule differently. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, members. Now, I think now that has been sorted out, because your contributions, members, were helping me go towards the same conclusion. Now, let's go back to the witness that we have on the dock. Yes, she has already taken her oath. So who is going to lead her? Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Senators. Kindly introduce yourself, what your name is and what you do for a living as at now.
Madam Speaker, honorable members of the House, my name is Janet Muthoni Gishuki, also known as Janet Muthoni Ouko. I am currently consulting, but I'm passionate about education rights advocacy, and that is what I have done for life. And I'm immediate former CEC for education, social services, Sports, Nairobi City County.
During your stint at the Nairobi City County, did you only undertake duties as a CC for education, gender, culture, and sports, or are there any other services that you render to the county?
Madam Speaker, would you kindly indicate the amount of time that we have for this process?
You have 40 minutes for all your witnesses. Thank you.
For all our witnesses, do you mean for the two witnesses?
You have the two witnesses, yes. So for the two witnesses, you have 40 minutes, and please keep the time.
Very well. Then, could we get an indication on how much time will be given to cross, so that we are clear from the very onset, Madam Speaker?
When we are talking of 40 minutes, it's 40 minutes from now. It is now 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock, so 8:40, you are done from the door. For the two witnesses.
Very well. Now,
Sorry, Madam Speaker, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Council. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. That leaves us, unfortunately, sorry.
Sorry, there is a point of order from Senator Orengo.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just beginning from where I started. You said 40 minutes for the two witnesses. But I think the planning was that you give the time for the county assembly, the time they have to prosecute their case. Yeah, so the question of two witnesses is not good enough. I think they should be told the time they have to prosecute their case, whether there are 2 or 3 witnesses. Yeah, so we are revising and reviewing our position so many times. Yeah. Madam Speaker,
Yes.
one of the reasons why we conduct these proceedings in the manner we are proceeding, where all the sides have to avail their documents, is to curtail the time we spend in giving evidence and cross-examination. Otherwise, we'll just call witnesses, they speak, and we don't know what they're going to say. But
Right.
this process requires that everybody has to file their statements in advance.
Yeah.
In fact, I wanted to borrow from what they do in the election petitions. Normally they say, is this your statement? You adopt it? And then he sits down
Yeah.
and is cross-examined thereafter. So, Madam
thank
Speaker,
you.
I think the right way to go
Yeah.
is to tell the county assembly that you don't have 40 minutes for 2 witnesses. Give them their time to present their case, whether it is 40 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours. And also to give the other side, what I was proposing, if you give each witness 20 minutes, then you can tell them how long they have to cross-examine.
Thank you, Senator Orengo. We normally have 4 hours for each side. What we meant to say, and let me clarify now, is that you have 40 minutes for your case to be over. 40 minutes for the 4 hours to be over. We were elastic at some point. Now, for the 40 minutes, we expect you to present your witnesses, allow your witnesses to be cross-examined, and finalize. So it is all in 40 minutes, because that's the remaining time that you have for the 4 hours to lapse. So please, if your witnesses will take less time, the better for you, so that you can have time for cross-examination. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, much as we are guided, I'm just looking at the witness statement that was recorded by the witness that has taken the stand, and that statement is 5 pages. And I'm asking myself silently whether I'm going to properly take the witness in chief on a 5-page statement within 40 minutes, which would be inclusive of cross and re-exam.
Counsel, I hope you listen to Senator Orengo, that we have the information, we have read the information. These senators have not slept because of this case. So they know everything. What we need to do is to pick issues that you want the witness to clarify. Otherwise, the information is here. Senator Lenturi, you are requesting to speak. You are not requesting for an intervention. So, Pat, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, probably to assist in saving time because of the strict nature of these proceedings, and having hand the council will confirm that the statements are within with us. Then why don't we then suggest or propose that you adopt the statement, and then it's cross-examined, and then you re-examine. I think that will have saved 10 or so minutes. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I think you have given good advice. Do whatever you can to make sure that you have got the real gist of what your witnesses are presenting. And they have read. I can assure you, these senators have read.
Fair enough. I'm directed, Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
Janet, you at one point was a CEC member for Education, Gender, Culture, Youth, Sports, and Social Services, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right.
Pardon?
That's right.
That's right. Kindly, you will be addressing the speaker because this needs to go unanswered. And when is it that you're employed at the county?
I joined the county, Madam Speaker, October 2017, and I exited about 2019, early January, thereabouts.
Very well. You have done a statement. Madam Speaker, I'm making reference to the statement that is contained in our file that is labeled as 9F. You did a statement, or rather an affidavit in support of the removal of governor from the office. Is it true?
That's right, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much. You've as well highlighted your relationship with the various organs of the county as enumerated under paragraph 5, right?
That's right, Madam Speaker.
Because of the constraints of time, we will not go through your relationship with your fellow CCs because it's well captured in the statement, and I get the comfort from the direction from the speaker that the senators have gone through the statement. Neither am I going to take you through the relationship with the county assembly and the relationship with the national government and the international community. But I would be very specific to what is before the Senate this evening. Now, can you, in a nutshell, describe your relationship, that is the work relationship between yourself and His Excellency Mike Mbuvi Sonko, please?
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I want to state here that first and foremost, I am not a vindictive person. I am here because Article 3 of the Constitution gives me a mandate as a citizen of this republic to defend and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and to protect it at all times, and that is why I feel it is very important for me to come here, especially for my convictions, to give breath to Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya. I want to speak about the relationship with my former boss, a man I respect so much, Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, and I want to describe it as sporadic. And I really want to describe it that way so that this House can get to understand some of the issues that you have seen coming up. You might think that I was the CEC for Education, but I want to tell you that I was never the CEC for Education. I could not move this phone from this place to this place, and that is a dilemma a lot of the officials of the city county of Nairobi find themselves today. So when I was listening to questions that the governor did not sign documents on the stadium, he could not have signed, but that is what it was, that nobody in the county government of Nairobi operated out of their technical ability or technical know-how, but there were simply instructions that have never been written. I want to dare all the written instructions from the office of the governor to be produced before this house. All the instructions were on phone. I want to describe a relationship of blackmail and intimidation.
Very well, let's just go systematically.
Thank you.
Sorry for cutting you short. Oh, Nimaribu. My apologies for that. My apologies for that. I just wanted to...
Members want you to save time.
Yes,
So,
yes. And that is,
allow her.
and I was guided, very well, I was guided by, okay.
Yeah,
My
allow her
apologies
to
for that.
Thank you.
I would want you to, okay, you can proceed.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, I was discussing a relationship of blackmail and intimidation.
Yeah, finish the statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That all the actions that anybody took, and I'm offering my testimony as what I experienced, what I felt, and what I saw, and what I had as a former CEC, so that every action that was taken was forever instructed on phone. If you looked like you were not cooperating, there were so many abuses. I am sure the House has seen a cross-section of what would be told to you, accompanied with, nitakufuta kazi we, nitakufuta kazi kesho. Honorable members, a lot of these people that work under the county government of Nairobi have families. Nobody would put their job on the line. A lot of them are servicing loans. A lot of them have got children. So it is human instinct to first want to defend your job. So a lot of the actions and omissions that were taken by a lot of the officials you see at the county government of Nairobi, I want to say a lot of them have interacted with a lot of them. They're technically on notch, and so it can only be described as something different. And I'm here as an example, that when it was time for us to do bursaries, I am supposed to advise His Excellency the Governor on how best to, for example, implement a bursary program. So you sit down and you advise, you do a very good note that you want to give to every public primary school, to the top 3, but try and report that to His Excellency the Governor. He will tell you no.
Madam
Wait
Speaker.
until you are elected. The Governor is when you will make your own decisions.
Madam Speaker.
Our members wanted her to finish that statement, then you can intervene. I'll give you a chance to intervene. Yeah.
I am giving this testament. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
I am noting that the House is constrained for time, so I'm really trying to give as much as I can so that we help each other here. Madam Speaker, I'm here today because there are so many other members of the County Assembly, probably staff members, that maybe cannot stand here and say this which I am saying today, and who are interested in seeing value.
Madam Speaker, myself.
Madam Speaker.
Please take your seat. Please take your seat because
It's an objection, Madam Speaker.
She's giving her evidence. We'll allow you.
She's expanding her evidence beyond the affidavit, Madam Speaker. She is expanding her evidence beyond, and she's becoming a politician and an orator before this honorable House. She ought to confine herself to the affidavit for us to appreciate.
Is it a problem being an orator?
Don't address me, address the Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
It's no problem being
Let him address the Speaker, let him not address me.
Madam Speaker, if you may...
Council, if you may, I want the councils to allow, she has only the last 1 minute to give. Let her finish her summary. That is her submission. We agreed earlier today that whatever evidence you have, how you articulate is personal to you. So can you allow her to articulate the last line? Senator Gerald Gay, what's your point of order?
Madam Speaker, I think earlier on you will rule from your seat that any witness that appears before us must constrain himself or herself within what has been provided before us. We are not interested in gerrymandering or any other issues outside the ambit that have been provided. So I think that ruling has been made. The President is in your seat. You are directed that anything that comes out before this must be. And Madam Speaker, you need to protect me from this gender activist. But Madam Speaker, what I'm just saying is that you had ruled. There is a precedent that you must constrain yourself within what you are provided for, either in evidence or in affidavit. Don't go outside that ambit because you are involving us in a rat race. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, could I?
Senator Gerald K., you only missed to tell us specific things, yes, Chairman, there too. But I will allow Senator Mbaye. Senator Mbaye, who is using his card? Senator Kinywa.
Asante, Bi Speaker. Kwanza kabisa mimi nimesoma ushahidi wote ambayo tulipewa, lakini mambo ambayo nasikia sasa, Bi Speaker, ni hekaya ambazo tunapewa na historia. Tungependa tufuatilie, Bi Speaker, yale ushahidi ambayo tumepewa ni ushahidi ambao tunafuatilia hapa na tumeusoma usiku kucha. Alafu zile ambazo nasikia sasa, Bi Speaker, ni hekaya, Bi Speaker. Tufuatilie ushahidi ulioko hapa.
Okay, thank you, Senator Halake Abshiro.
In order to say that to be protected from the gender activist, what does then gender activism have to do with this? And I don't see one thing that was out of the affidavit, because what she's referring to was actually what was on television. So gender activism, we have a right to be gender activists.
Thank you, Senator Orengo.
Things that I was taught is, and what Lord friend Mr. Nyamu, and I really respect Mr. Nyamu. If there's any lawyer that we have in the House today who has got a lot of experience, is that lawyer called Mr. Nyamu. In fact, in matters of petitions relating to impeachment, I think he has contributed to the development of the law, two impeachments, and he has argued these cases to the Supreme Court. Now, what I was saying, what is worrying counsels for the governor? Because my starting point, if I was examining this witness, is to show her the statement and say, what you are saying is not in the statement, is an afterthought. Mm-hmm. These are all material for cross-examination. Yeah, but the moment you stand up and down, the story is lost, and even your case is lost. But if you want to create an impression to us, that statement, that's what I'm saying. If she's relying on that statement, that is where you begin. Janet, you know, somebody was calling her Janet. I have your statement. Did you include that evidence that you're saying now in your statement? Why did you include it? Is it an afterthought? You know, then we build up a case on character, on integrity of the witness. But I think the way we are jumping up and down, that 20 minutes will not work.
Thank you.
It will not work.
Thank you. Counsel, I had told you that I wanted her to finish that part of the statement so that I give you a chance. It's only better, and you'll be heard better, if you actually get a chance to dispute that they are not in the statement. But Senator Masitsa Naomi, and I'll come back to you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was going to speak what the council has said, that we are not here to waste time. We are here to manage time. And I think what we are listening here, we need even to hear more. The exact what we have here in the book, not stories. So we want to have executive summaries that we can make investigation more reliable than just stories. So if we can confine ourselves to where we want to go and get evidence that will help us summarize this case, then it will be good for us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Matsayo Stewart. Although you are
Speaker,
you are not on points of order, you are speaking a wrong place.
Nilikuwa nimesimama hapo awali nikitaka kusema ya kwamba ushahidi ambao yule mtu mshahidi mwenyewe ajiangalie katika yale aliyoandika pale, ndio anaweza kutuambia. Na wakili kidogo amepitwa, kwa sababu akijaribu kuuliza atashindwa wakati ule wa kuuliza maswali. Kwa hiyo ingekuwa vizuri angojee mshahidi atoe ushahidi wake, akimaliza yeye atapata nafasi mzuri sana ya kumweleza ya kwamba umefanya makosa hapa na pale, alafu hiyo ndio itakuwa sababu nzuri ya yeye kumsaidia mteja wake. Asante bwana Speaker.
Finally, Senator Wetangula. Yeah, that is senior justice.
Some of our colleagues are becoming hyper because this witness has a statement. And if you have read her statement, what she has been saying is actually in her statement. So why don't we leave the lawyers to do their work? And I want to encourage you, my distinguished learned colleagues, you'll do so well in cross-examination than shooting up to interrupt a witness, because sometimes it also creates prejudice against you among the jurors. Just listen to the witness. To me, Madam Speaker, I've read that statement over and over. What she started saying is not outside the statement. And we had asked her to paraphrase what is in her statement.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable witness, please guard your territory. We are saying you express yourself because people express differently, but don't bring in new things. I hope you are only going to take the last 1 minute because there is a need to reduce time.
Honorable Senator, Honorable Speaker, we were unfairly interrupted. I pray that if we can be given 3 minutes, please.
Let us continue, we'll see.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I know the members of the House have the statement, and I'll just summarize by saying the reason as to why I stand here today. It's just to defend Chapter 6 of the Constitution. I feel sad that all the employees of Nairobi City County have not given Nairobi County the value that they needed, because all of them did not exercise their technical value, because the governor of Nairobi is the one who has been controlling everything. And a lot of things have been said. If you read my statement, for example, you will see the questions that are coming up about Dandora. You cannot and you have no ability to make one decision. And I will be challenged here, and I will answer. And therefore, it is really, I feel the lost time. I feel the lost time for the value, for the right decisions that were supposed to be made that were not made, just because a lot of colleagues that are supposed to make that decision are blackmailed into submission. A lot of them are harassed. We had people in the county assembly that have actually been beaten, bodily harm, in our presence at the county. We have statements like, what do you make of your boss that calls you at 2 a.m. in the night? What is that apart from harassment? And they want you to answer questions. You don't know whether they are in their right frame of mind. They're surrounded by people. People are laughing at you. He's hurling all manner of insults at you. You're not able to do your duties. You can be frightened. And so that is what I wanted to present to this honorable House, so that the questions that are coming up as, have you seen the governor's signature on that? It is not going to be there. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the situation. That is how the Nairobi City County workers work. And by the time I was working, I only had 1 year contract. 1 year contract. That was subject to blackmail. Where was it a renew contract yako? Where was it a renew contract yako? So literally people operating in that kind of an environment. And I began by saying, a lot of them are men that are heads of their households. They have children. They have loans. It is only natural instinct to protect where you get your bread, because that is most important than probably making a lot of other decisions that contradicting your boss, and then you get yourself into problems.
Thank you.
Honorable members, Madam Chair, thank you so much.
Before you close, Madam Speaker, with your permission, I just want to ask her 2 questions that are related to her statement, if you may allow. Okay. Just 2 questions. Madam Janet, I want you to make reference to 2 paragraphs. One is paragraph number 14, where you say that the governor was always paranoid. And then you've given an example of when you were summoned to the Senate. Can you tell us, just tell the Senate what happened?
Madam Speaker, the governor of the county of Nairobi was summoned to Senate, and among myself and other colleagues accompanied him. And the Honorable Moses Kajwang, who is a comrade, we were with him in the university, made a comment, a very general comment, that, Your Excellency, why do you seem like you're making a lot of errors, yet you have people here, like Madam Ouko, I know her. That was supposed to be a compliment, but it caused me problems the whole of the time I served. Wewe ndio unapeleka maneno Senate. Wewe ndio it just, you don't know what else to do. I did not order Moses Kajwang to compliment me, but it just messed my life totally and completely. I wish he could have withdrawn that statement, because now it seemed like I had a private arrangement that I could call him, so that that is how we worked.
Thank you so much. Turn to paragraph number 16. At the very tail end, the last two paragraphs, the paragraph the line starting, he would later display his disrespectful nature when he described me on national television as a female pig that is horny. Kindly give us that information.
Madam Speaker, this is why those are one of the things that His Excellency the Governor sometimes could call you up and just tell you, but that was very unfortunate because it was on national television. He described me as a horny female pig. It is not proper. It is harassment on gender, and I'm just describing for you the conditions of work for myself and other women, that a lot of comments have been made about them, yet they have families. Wewe toka hapa, wewe nimelala hata na wewe. Wewe toka. It is not right. And those are some of the things that it's sad to say them in public, but this is our linen. This is our linen. We have to wash it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Madam Speaker. Lastly, do you wish to produce this affidavit in support of the motion for the removal of governor from office?
That is right, Madam Speaker.
That shall be all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. May I now invite the counsel to the governor to cross-examine the witness? We are going to give you, can we give you 5 minutes? And please go precisely.
Very well. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, honorable members.
Because we only have 15 minutes, so
That's
if you can do
That's
5,
okay.
it would be
I will
great.
try. I'll try to constrain myself. Thank you very much. Madam Janet, when did you swear this affidavit which you have asked this honorable Senate to consider?
I'm believing I'm making this submission on oath.
Please,
right here.
this is the exact issue. Honorable members, we are not getting a direct answer. I've asked her a direct question. When did she swear it? It's direct. When did you swear this deposition, Janet?
Just let me refer to the dates here.
Please confirm it is the 14th of December 2020.
Yeah, you're right.
Please confirm that the impeachment resolution was done, to your knowledge, if you do know, on the 3rd of December 2020.
That's right.
Please do confirm that this deposition was not available to the governor earlier than at least when you saw it on the 14th of December 2020.
I was probably not the one, so I'm not able to really comment on the exact time that he was served, and
Very well.
probably counsel will do that.
Thank you. But you do confirm that at least on the 3rd of December 2020, you had not sworn it.
I did that already, confirm.
Thank you. Janet, did you use to communicate with His Excellency the Governor by your WhatsApp messages?
When, what span are you talking about? When I served?
I'm cross-examining you. Did you ever?
Yes, I did.
You did. Do you have any evidence of any threat to you posted to your WhatsApp messenger?
Any what?
Do you have any threat posted to your WhatsApp messenger by the governor?
I don't have.
Do you have any incident you can name in your deposition, one single incident on a date, a time, the year that the governor threatened you?
Madam Speaker, sir, Madam Speaker, if you may, council needs to restrict himself to the materials before us.
This is what we are facing. This is
Mr.
what has
Kinyanjui.
been lamented about. Mr. Njiru sees that he should interrupt.
Mr. Kinyanjui, I was on my feet and
I was on my feet before you.
seniority
Sorry, Madam Speaker, I
dictates
apologize.
that you honor.
I apologize.
Councils, let's get the clarifications done. Please don't exchange between yourselves. You must talk to the speaker.
Yes, I am aware of a threat, and that threat is when I served. a threat to sack me in the middle of the night. I have not kept the dates, but that was a threat.
Please answer my question. Do you have in your entire affidavit a named date, a named time, or the year? Because you said in your affidavit paragraph 3 that is when you are employed.
No.
Do you confirm that in paragraph 3 that is designating your appointment? That's what you've deposed.
Yes.
Janet, I'm trying to avoid looking at you because I don't want to be accused of threatening you. I'm looking steadily at Madam Speaker. Janet, you do acknowledge that the appointment power is different from that one of an employee by hiring.
I do.
You confirm that His Excellency the Governor has a power to dismiss you.
I also have rights.
Hold on.
He
My
doesn't-
question, let's confine ourselves to save the time. My time is constricted. Janet, you do confirm that on all the occasions you have mentioned that His Excellency allegedly demeaned you, attacked you, you have not named.
I have not?
Named. I mean, this allegation was made when I was at Dandora or in Nairobi. You confirm?
I've really rushed through my statement.
No, you've been general.
I want you to give me time. I can locate it here. I can locate the statement that you want here.
Let
But
me
I'll
take
require
you
me do that.
to save time, paragraph 16, for instance.
Okay.
Paragraph 16, you say, I had a problem with the disrespectful nature with which the governor would address me. You haven't named the occasion, you haven't named the event, you haven't named the place, you haven't named the time or even the date.
From
You say-
time to time.
Hold on. Even from that time to time is so generalized and that bordered on molestation. I ask, have you mentioned the nature of the molestation? You
Yes.
haven't. You haven't there within that paragraph. An urge to humiliate and blackmail me. You confirm you have not named the nature of your blackmail there, that he blackmailed you? You confirm? You confirm?
Thank you, Council. Please guide me. Give me an example of how you describe nature of blackmail. You know,
Blackmail is
sort of-
that unless you do this for me or in my favor, I would take this or that action against you. In that paragraph, you have not mentioned it.
It's here.
Okay?
I
You
will
haven't
sack-
cited.
I will sack you. I will not renew your contract. It is
Let
here.
us look at paragraph.
Okay,
My time is up?
time is up. Yes.
No, yeah, let me ask the last question. Allow me. If
Last-
you.
last
Yes,
question.
yes.
Yeah.
If you look at your paragraph, for instance, 15.
Thank you.
Your 1 minute is even over.
I'm sorry, Madam Speaker. I mean, she hasn't answered. When I address her to
Is there
refer,
a question on the floor?
Council, you had your 5 minutes.
I was interrupted by her lawyer. Unfortunately, let me just say this: when you are at the CEC of Education, have you produced any documentation material before this Honorable Senate in proof of your allegations?
Yes, they have been produced.
You do confirm that in paragraph number, this is 3 or 4, you mentioned, 2, that enclosed herewith, please find all supporting documents marked PMN1. You confirm there is nothing here to the affidavit? Nothing? You confirm there is nothing?
There's a lot.
No.
Not on this paper.
There is
Thank
nothing.
you, thank you.
Thank
As
you.
we said, the senators are listening and they will be able to make up their minds out of that. Any other?
Madam Speaker, would I be given a chance to re-exam?
Now, thank you very much, witness. I think we stand you down. We want the next witness to come in.
I'm sorry, Madam Speaker. There were documents in which Mr. Speaker, sir, had said that we'll address in the document tomorrow. And her documents are in that document for tomorrow. If I may beg them to recall her for about 10 minutes. In furtherance of that, so that honorable members, Madam Speaker, can
Are
have...
you saying you have just seen the documents?
We just say, that I said that implicitly because it was, 14th of December is when the affidavit was sworn.
You know, Council,
Yes, Madam. I'm here.
You are going back to what you are against yourself. Because earlier on you said the documents were there when they were not there.
No. I'm saying in the affidavit is what I have seen.
You asked her whether she had documents and she told you she has them. The unfortunate thing is that you had not looked at them yourself. So it will not be really upon the Senate to make sure that you look at all your documents.
Correct.
So that I defer. I will
Well
not
ruled.
give you that ruling now.
What I meant was,
because we have a very short time and we don't want to lose the last witness. The last witness has only, how many minutes? 5 minutes.
what I meant to say, Madam Speaker, is that tomorrow is our time.
Please, I have ruled because
Yes.
it was up to you to look at your documents, but you cannot come back and
It's
say,
the
"I have
affidavit.
seen."
It's the affidavit,
You
which we had
said-
not seen.
You said you had not seen, but hold on. If there's any ruling that we'll do it later.
Much
But,
obliged.
can we get the last witness? Thank you very much, witness.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You know, Madam Speaker, we shall be calling our next witness, who is just outside.
Yes, please, because you have only 5 minutes, 6 minutes, in fact.
Oh, okay.
And we hope the witness can take 3, then you can use the 3 for cross-examination.
Madam Speaker, our next witness will be taken over by my learned friend, Mr. Kokebe, through the process of examination in chief. Mr. Kokebe.
Point of order from Senator Muranga. Before the swearing, I have a point of order. Please go ahead, quickly.
Yes, Madam Speaker, we only have 5 or 6 minutes before we close this session. It will be very unfair on the part of the lawyers representing His Excellency the Governor if the witness just comes, gives evidence, and they don't get adequate time to cross-examine that witness. I am seeking your direction as to whether you can add this witness a little bit, about 10 more minutes beyond 8:40, so that you give His Excellency lawyers a little bit of time to also get the opportunity to cross-examine the witness.
Thank you. Reasonable request. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it, so we'll have an extra 10 minutes to enable the Governor's counsel to cross-examine properly. So you have 5 minutes, witness. Thank you. Swearing in. Take place first.
I, Joyce Nogari Kenyanjui, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Madam Speaker,
Thank you. Lead.
I will only take at most 5 minutes in examination in chief, and I will also request that my learned friends take half that minute so that I will be able to re-examine the witness. That's it, Madam Speaker and honorable members of the Senate. I invite you to the file marked 9C. Madam Joyce, kindly go to page 1120 of the file marked 9C. 1120. Yes, there is the red file, honorable senators and Madam Speaker. The red file. Yes. I'll invite you to look at 1120. That is the page. that is of concern, and specifically 1122. Madam Joyce, do you confirm that this statutory declaration sworn on the 23rd of November was sworn by yourself?
Yes, I agree.
And you will want that this particular information that you're producing via this statutory declaration to be admitted as your testimony before this Honorable House?
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I will yield, and the Honorable members, I will yield to my learned friend to do the cross-examination, whereupon I'll do the re-exam.
Okay, Counsel.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Now, you say that there was a request made to Shades of Africa in paragraph 7, which is a pre-qualified travel agency by the county.
Yes.
Now, what is the issue about the $17,260 that you talk about there?
As far as I'm concerned, the 17,260 USD of the First Lady and her entourage to the US for the 62nd CSW conference.
Was that visit officially approved for the First Lady?
Yes, it was.
So it had nothing to do with the governor, His Excellency? That's
yes.
true. Yes, please answer so that I can end. Now, let me take you to page number 1133. Are you there? Is that your imprest?
Yes, yes, that's my
It was your imprest?
Yes.
Is there any money that you received from the Nairobi City County government that you're not entitled to?
I did not receive the money.
Is there any money that you received from the Nairobi City County government you're not entitled to? Excuse me. Mr. Njiru, please stay away from this so that we can save time. Yes?
The money was not entitled to me.
Did you receive any money on behalf of the Nairobi City County that came to your own direct possession?
I
haven't answered my question.
I received the money.
You received the money. Thank you.
The imprest for County First Lady and Ward Administrator to travel to USA.
Now, did you surrender that money?
Yes, I did.
You surrendered it.
Yes, I did.
But you received how much money?
I received 2.6 million.
2.6 million.
Less the 5,000. Less the 5,000.
$2.6 million.
Yes.
I mean, sorry, 2.6 million.
Yes.
Now, you refunded how much?
I did not refund.
You did not refund?
I surrendered the
Yes.
imprest.
You surrendered the imprest.
Yes.
So was there any penny of that money that you allege attributable to His Excellency the Governor going to his pocket?
I said the money was meant for the First Lady and the Ward Administrator who are traveling to the US for the conference.
Was the visit approved officially?
Yes, the visit was approved.
It was officially approved.
Yes.
Now, when you come to your statement, let me take you back to your affidavit, page 1121. Is there anywhere that you attribute the execution of any of those documents to His Excellency the Governor?
No, I don't.
You do not.
Yes.
You have finally stated there in paragraph 1121, that you compiled all the documents with respect to the trip, which include the air tickets, boarding passes, as well as accommodation and so forth. You did omit from your compilation of documents the documents relating to your money which you took from the county?
I selected all the documents.
I'm saying when you're compiling your documents, you omitted the documents that prove you took the money from the county government.
Pardon?
Yes. And the issue, my last question. And the issue,
Please come out clearly, because even me, I'm not clear what you're asking.
I said that she mentioned the trip was authorized, and the documents don't show that in the documents that she does tender. And she says that she had 2.6 million, which she took and refunded, but there were $5,000. But there is no evidence of that. That's what I'm saying. The compilation of the documents is what she says. Now,
Madam Speaker, I want to correct my statement and say that the council is misquoting me, because I have put it clearly that the 2.6 million that I took, maybe I can, if you allow me, Madam Speaker, if you go to document 1125, Madam Speaker, it is authority to incur expenditure signed by me to the county secretary, and the request, the authority to incur expenditure is Her Excellency the First Lady will be accompanied by the under to the mentioned conference in New York, United States of America, scheduled to take place from 12th to 23rd March 2018. And the people who are to accompany Her Excellency the First Lady, Ms. Janet Muthoni-Gichuki of passport number B174362, who was then a county executive committee member of Education, Youth, Gender and Social Services, and one Ms. Saumu Agnes Mbuvi of passport number B168652. That authority was approved by the county secretary. After that, the procedure is it goes to the paymaster, who computes the per diems before the document goes back to the accountant for the preparation of the payment vouchers to the beneficiaries.
yes, just so that I was ending my question. All that documentation of the approvals, the vouchers and everything, you have not included.
All the documents are here. There is no document,
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker,
that I did not submit.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other?
Madam Speaker, it will be my turn to now re-examine the witness.
Yes.
Joyce, you've been referred to your testimony that is from the statutory declaration. And you've referred this Honorable House to the document at page 1125.
Yes.
That document, the person of Saumu Agnes Mbuvi, what was her designation?
I did not feel any designation when I was doing the authority to incur expenditure, because I did not have her designation, but I indicated the designation of the CECM.
Fair enough. Later on, you got an invoice, and it has been asked that you received some 2.6 million. Is it so?
Yes, I received an invoice.
Honorable Senators, the invoice in question is 1126 all the way to 1127. But then,
I don't know, sorry, Madam Speaker, to interject. This is a redoing of the case with all tremendous respect. The documents that are being referred, I didn't take out.
Madam Speaker, my land senior knows well that he has referred to 2.6 million. The 2.6 million he's referring to is in that invoice. I am further able and Mr. Kinyanjui, I am further laying evidence before this court that he has referred to a 2.6 million, which is in here. That, to the next point, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members of the Senate, I refer you to yet another document, that is 1133, which again was where Mr. Kinyanjui began. Honorable Senators, if we note that you're all there, Madam Joyce, kindly read what was the purpose for this money at 1133, impressed warrant. What was the purpose for that money?
Nature of duty, being impressed for County First Lady and ward administrator to travel to USA.
A ward administrator that you did not know at first. Is that so?
I was not given the designation.
Thank you. And you are also referred to an issue that you received money. Whom did you give this money? How did it leave your account?
On the morning of 19 March 2018, I was in the office, and one Christopher Mbwaga Oguso, who was then a security to the governor, called me and asked me where I was. And I told him I was in the office. Then he told me he's coming. And within a short while, because I was on the same floor with the governor, he came and found me in the office. Then he told me, twende ukatoe pesa ya First Lady. We went down to Cooperative Bank, City Hall branch. I withdrew the money and gave that money to Christopher Mbwaga Oguso.
Fair enough. My last question, Madam.
After which, it's important to say that after which, because it was an impressed warrant,
Madam Speaker, there was a question about the money and how she expended that money. She is expounding on that point in re-examination.
Yeah,
We have a right to rebut that preposition, Madam Speaker. And it is in her document, it's in evidence. It is actually at page 1134. That's what she's referring to.
That's all right, because I think that question actually came from the council to the governor. He raised a clear exposition of that 2.6. So we are all trying to follow it. So please enable us to follow it, because the judgment is tomorrow and things should be as clear as they should be. Last question, please, because you have only 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will beg that I only take 2, but then on the last question, because this is an issue that was raised. Joyce, how was that money to be spent? How did it leave your account?
She has already answered that one, I agree.
Honorable,
she has already said that there was I heard it myself, that there's a security card who came and took the money.
Madam Speaker, it will be prejudicial to my clients that Honorable Speaker kindly protect me from my land friends. Honorable Speaker and members of the Parliament, of this Honorable House, the question was asked. I'm only but referring to it.
Which
and the question that I'm putting to the witness is as simple as what it is. How was the money to be expended? Based on the evidence that is there. And Honorable Speaker, I'll invite you to look at 1143.
Okay, can you do that? Because I
Kindly go to page 1143, Joyce.
Council, you know what we are looking for? I'm looking for the shortest time for members to ask clarification. So the clearer you are, the better.
Thank you.
I will only have 10 minutes for members after you have finished.
Thank you.
Yes. Can you answer that
1143?
question precisely? And that's the last.
Before I go to 1143, I want to start from 1126, which I have the invoice, which I received the invoice from Premier Plan Agency, and it is HE County First Lady, Nairobi County, Ms. Primrose Mwerumbuvi, Nairobi County First Lady, attendance to CSW Conference, New York, 14 days, international private airport transfer, chauffeur-driven, accommodation in New York for 9 days, conference side events, stroke meetings, local transport cost, setup and side meetings, hall space booking, local tourist sites and museum costs, miscellaneous.
By the way, we have
Thank you.
those, we have those
Yes.
details.
Then the other one, of course, was for.
Those are details that we have.
Yes.
So let's not repeat because we said members have already read your statements.
Okay, Madam.
Thank you, and I'm glad that the House has taken note of that.
Thank you.
I'll be yielding, Madam Speaker and honourable members.
Thank you very much. Honorable Senators, we had promised that you would allow you a few minutes in case you have questions for clarifications to all the from all the witnesses of the county assembly. Imetosha sisi. This addiction of Kiswahili this Kiswahili dictionary is landing even on this chair. So, honorable members, if we are all satisfied and we are waiting, then we are all satisfied, isn't it? Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Senators.
Thank you.
Honorable Senators, it is now time to interrupt the business of the Senate. The House therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, 17th December 2020 at 9 a.m.